Hello my friends, and welcome back to our continued blind Let's Play Ace Attorney Apollo Justice for the PS5, the remaster. My name is the FlightlessBird, this is your story-based gaming channel, and today, continue on, Case 4-3, Turnabout Serenade. I hope you're all having a wonderfully fantastic day today. Disappearing act, Ima. Well, this sure is a, what did he call it? A sausage? No, wait, it was a pickle. And it's your pickle. I told you to stay in the room. Sorry. Not much else I could say. It's alright. Top priority now is finding that body. You can make it up to me later. 10 bags or so of chocolate saku should do the trick nicely. 10 bags? You should watch your sugar intake, Emma. Wait, nothing else? Have we presented her with all the evidence yet? I don't know. I don't remember. Emma, could you take a look at this? Just hold it right there. This is no time to be waving a bag of sakus in my face. It's not a bag of sakus. Look, what's important is that Mr. Letitia's body is missing. And we've got to find it. She would be more convincing if she wasn't standing right eating her precious sakus. Okay, so I know I have not shown her all my evidence because I should have been able to skip that. But the fact that I couldn't skip that means I haven't yet showed her all my stuff. So let's just quickly go through this. If I've already done it, then I've already done it, but it's kind of strange she only has one line of dialogue. Two more pieces of evidence. I don't know how this final thing, the mixing board, is going to be anything. Yeah, So surprisingly, that's it. Yeah, and all this is the same. Ah, this is different though. There should be a body here, but there's not. How could this have happened, and why? Okay, well that's not much else. Where haven't we gone? It's a good question. Where haven't we gone? What am I missing? I'm unsure. Ah, there we go. July 8th, 12:57 a.m. in the wings. Does something seem different to you, Apollo? Something is definitely different here. Let's check it out. I'm not sure that's all that important right now. Let's check out that thing in the middle of the stage. Oh my god. Wait, did the stage just fall on top of itself? What is going on over here? That stage there must have been lowered before. That's the tower that Lemuel and Prosecutor Gavin was singing on. Someone must have raised it. I don't see a way to control it from here. Apollo, what about that ladder there against the wall? We could use that to take a look up top. Maybe we should get Ima. Yeah, that is an actual ladder, not a step ladder. What are you talking about? We have to see this sort of thing for ourselves. I'm not so good with heights. Yeah, I'm not either. Stop whining and start climbing. Irk. Tracy's gonna get me killed. It didn't look that high from below, really. But when we got to the top, I felt every one of those 15 feet down. Of course, I wasn't thinking about the height anymore. Not after what we found up there. Eek! We've had two things we were looking for. One thing we never expect to find. We found Letitia's body. And Maiko. Or Maito. Or whatever. Maki. That's it, Maki. The body, guitar in hand, and the pianist, Maki Tobaye. How did they get way up here? How did they get way up here? July 8th, 10:09 a.m. Wright Anything Agency. How come I wasn't able to investigate anything either? Wow, the concert last night sure went south in a hurry. No kidding. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess that was... Hold on. History? There we go. History. Yeah, that was Apollo. Sorry. Wow, that concert last night sure went south in a hurry. No kidding. Why did they arrest Maki? Why? Wait, I thought Maki was dead. Don't look at me like it's my fault. Yeah, I thought he died. Maki Tobai, the blind pianist. Arrested on suspicion of murdering Romain Latouche. I can't believe such a cute little boy could do something so horrible. Well, I mean, if you look at the evidence, he's definitely small enough to have been able to go through the vent, right? I guess they have proof of some kind. What proof could possibly prove that? Morning. Prosecutor Gavin. But tonight, eh? Hey, you're in my office. Or Phoenix's office, technically. I apologize for being so upset. Mr. Gavin, do you know what's going on? Why did they arrest Maki? Why? And I think that is Maki. If it's Machi, let me know. Don't look at him like it's his fault either. It was tough for me too. They performed together that night after all, yet. Yet? The powers that be say that given the circumstances, it could have only been him. What do you mean by the circumstances? Lammermoor was invited from Borginia as an ambassador of goodwill. It is vital that this case be wrapped up swiftly. That's all the powers that be want, really. Well, those are circumstances, alright? But what makes Maki the only possible suspect? Air for head. You seem to have forgotten that you're talking to the prosecution, the enemy. Right. I think I like this side of Prosecutor Gavin better, actually. I'm not at liberty to discuss the particulars of the case, especially not to the defense attorney. What? What did you say? Me? Defense attorney? What? Huh? That's what I came to tell you. He's down at the detention center. He wants to request your services. He? You mean Maki? Maki wants me? This is what we've been waiting for, Apollo. Let's get going. Right, sure. Good luck. I'm off to question Lammermoor. Right, later. I hope I'm up to this. July 8th, detention center visitor's room. Well, I just don't get it. I refuse to believe a cute little kid like that could do something so terrible. You said that already. All the dots. Maki, everything's going to be okay. We're here for you. Hi. Maybe you could tell me about last night. Oh, the pictographs. Great. Huh? Sure. That was when I realized how tough it must be. A little kid like this. In a country so far from everything he's ever known. Yeah. I can see that. Maybe Lammermoor can help. But didn't Prosecutor Gavin say she were with him? Good luck. I'm off to question Lammermoor. Well, what are we going to do? That's a good question. I can't think of anything we can do but go with this. And hope for the best at the trial tomorrow. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. This doesn't look good. Because if I was a prosecutor, he would be my first suspect too. Because he's small enough to get up the vent. I mean, it makes sense to me. July 9th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for... How do I say that exactly? Maki Tobae, Your Honor. The pixie of the Apagio.
Right, here, that guy's trail. Court is in session.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is A-OK, Judge.
Very well. Let's go to Gavin.
My opening statement, yeah.
No, actually, there's something else I want to ask you about.
Yes.
Say you're going to visit someone in the hospital with an incurable disease. Now, what do you say to them?
Yeah, exactly. What?
I mean, you want to say get well soon, right? You'd only be kicking them when they're down.
What are we talking about here?
Actually, I want to visit someone who's terminally ill. Right after this trial, Chief Justice's son.
The Chief Justice?
His son is afflicted with the most terrible disease. He doesn't have long, it seems. So I thought I'd go pay him a visit. Thought seeing something moving might be the order of the day.
Why don't grown-ups ever just say what's on the mind instead of pretending? She's looking at me with someone like disgust. Hey, what are you looking at me like that for?
Well, in any case, I'm a bit busy today, so let's wrap this up quickly, yeah? Prosecutor Gavin, you open his statement. Briefly, I said.
You're in luck, Judge. I believe you'll be going on your hospital visit sooner than you think.
Huh?
Pass to review the victim in this case. Romain Letus, age 35. The global manager for Diva Songsters Lamever. The cause of death: blood loss due to being shot by a large caliber revolver. This report has all the details.
Well, the court accepts this into evidence.
Zeus's autopsy report added to the court record. Death due to loss of blood from gunshot wound. Estimated time of death 9 to 9:30 p.m.
45 caliber, well that's quite large, isn't it? A direct hit from that could knock a man off his feet.
Well, what is it gonna do to a boy who's of like 14 or 15? However, the bullet struck him in his shoulder. The damage to the body was slight. Death was not immediate. Sadly, his blood loss was such that he could not be saved.
I suppose the victim's condition could have been much worse considering.
Crime photo added to the court record. 2 shots were fired. One shot missed and the other penetrated and passed through the victim's shoulder. Both bullets were found in the wall at the scene. Observe the diagram. This is where the bullets hit.
I see. Well, the court accepts this into evidence.
Diagram added to the court record.
If we're talking about a 45 caliber revolver, we must assume that the killer was adept at the weapon's use.
Really? Well, yeah, apparently weapons that size have powerful kickback. If, say, the judge tried to fire one, it'd break every bone in his body.
The defense will take more care at choosing examples. I'm not that old, a young whippersnapper.
As I was saying, the victim was shot backstage in the dressing room. The dressing room has only one entrance, this door.
That does seem to be the case, yes.
However, there were witnesses who heard the gunshots. He's talking about you and Emma, huh? Yet when the witnesses entered the room, it was empty, save for the victim's body, of course.
But that's impossible.
Exactly. This murder was impossible. For all but one person.
One person, you say?
Well, that is, of course, the defendant, Maki Tobae.
Only this defendant could have committed this crime? But how?
It's quite simple. The circumstances of the crime scene make it very clear.
Very well, I assume your testimony would back up this claim? Please show the witness to the stand.
Is this gonna be Lamor? Oh, Ima. Your name and profession, please. Ima Sky. I'm a detective for the police department. I was on a security detail at the concert forum that night. Ima seems tired somehow. But yeah, we're up to like 1 o'clock, right?
Security at the concert, you say?
Some security I was. Couldn't even stop a murder. Well, that was the night before, but I'm saying she was probably up literally late last night too.
Now, don't blame yourself. Things like this happen. I made even bigger mistakes in my career, you know.
I'm sure that makes her feel much better. I want to hear about these bigger mistakes. In any case, because you've on security detail, the crime was quickly discovered. And they were able to identify the killer. Huh? You may give the court your testimony if you would. Describe the circumstances of that day and the discovery of the crime, please. Alright. Ima on the stand. Murderous Circumstances. The night of the murder, I was on security backstage at Prosecutor Gavin's request. Only people involved with the concert in some way were allowed backstage. At the beginning of the third set, I heard shots. I went into the room filled with blaring rock music and found the body. I examined the scene and determined that only the defendant could have done it.
It was lucky the detective was the first on the scene.
But that door was the only way out of the room, right? Yeah, pretty much. Then I don't get it. How can they say that Maki did it? It looks like we need a bit more information.
Very well, the defense may begin the cross-examination.
I mean, like I said, if I was the prosecution, I would say the same thing. The only way out of that room is through the stepladder and through the vent, and the only one small enough to be able to fit in the vent would have been Maki Tobai. It makes perfect sense to me, unless there's something else that we missed. The night of the murder, I was sitting backstage at Professor Gavin's request. The night of the murder was the night of the concert, yes? That's right. What was the detective doing at security detail, might I ask? If it was only a concert. My thoughts exactly. But orders are orders, even when they come from rock gods. Prosecutor Gavin? Yes, allow me to explain. I smelled something that day, you might say, the stench of conspiracy. That day at the concert hall. Conspiracy? Well, isn't it obvious my keys that whole morning, no the whole day was ruined. And it's all because someone stole my case. I couldn't find my hog to the show. I couldn't open my guitar case. There he goes again. Isn't it possibly simply misplace them? Misplace them? Misplaced items don't just wander into murder victims' hands on their own.
What's this, Prosecutor Gavin? The keys were in the victim's hand. Well, that makes you a prime suspect.
Love, slow acting and new. Arto Quinine is waiting for you. Okay, is Arto Quinine like his I was gonna say lover or mistress or I don't know what I'm saying here. I'm just saying it's gotta be like wife or something. I mean, because talk about love. He's singing something. Does everything in this guy have to be so over the top? It could just be like a person that he had in a case. That's probably the most logical thing. It's someone that he met in a case and he made a song of that case. The killing happened in the middle of my concert. I was like a sailor adrift on the sea of sound. Anyway, I didn't want anything else stolen. So I put the detective with the most time on their hands on the task.
I see. Well, I can accept that.
Well, I can't. What do you mean, time on the hands?
Please, a testimony if you would.
Wow, you just like insulted Ima like she doesn't do anything. Only people involved with the concert in some way were allowed backstage. We were let in though. I didn't know about that. I certainly didn't invite you. I gave the Fräulein special permission to be there. I wanted to see her again. Oh boy, did you hear that? We're officially involved now. Gee, great. Some other hangers-on tried to get backstage, but I drove them off. So on the other hand, no other outsiders were there then. And then, at the beginning of the third set, I heard shots. I believe we were having a chat when we heard the shots. You were the one chatting. I was eating tacos.
Hey, no snack in the court unless you have enough for everybody. I want some too.
And you're sure the shots came from Lemivor's room? Yes, absolutely. Hey, I'm the one being cross-examined here. Here, this'll keep it quiet. Katonk. Oh my gosh, she just threw a Sakura at me. Ah, thanks. Reminds me of the pigeon guy who would like throw stuff at me. So, oh my god, he's actually eating them. Look at that. How about it, Ima? We were right. There. Hard to be mistaken about that.
Please, either talk or eat. Now both at the same time, and where's mine? I want some, I said.
Right, so after that, me and Mr. Lawyer there opened the dressing room door. I went into the room filled with blaring rock music and found the body. Rock? Blaring, yes.
Now when you say rock, are you perhaps referring to this rock and roll music that's so popular these days? I want to go back to my country music.
That's right, when we went into the dressing room. Music was blaring over the speaker on the wall. They piped sound from the stage into the backstage through speakers. That way people... who's talking here? I thought this was Apollo talking. No, Apollo said that and then Ima cut in. Okay. That way people in the back can hear when they're supposed to be on stage. Did it have to be so loud? You don't listen to the governors with your ears. You feel it with your entire body and soul. I always had the backstage monitors at full volume. When we walked into the room, the band was playing Guilty Love, I believe, making it easy to determine the time of the crime.
If you could hear that music playing.
Then everyone on stage for that song has an alibi, including myself. Anyway, I closed out the scene and started my investigation. I examined the scene and determined that only the defendant could have done it. How could you know something like that? As I said, it was clear from the circumstances. Listen, we know there was only one exit from the room, that door. The small window only opened a tiny crack, and I was standing in front of that door. So how could the killer have fled the scene? There's only one possibility, the air vent. Okay, I mean... I hate to say that. I always like to say I love it when the protagonists are on the same page, but on this instance, it looks like the antagonist and I are on the same page. But I completely, 100% logically understand this train of thought. There's only one possibility, the air vent. But that air vent was too small. Who could possibly... Exactly. Huh? There's certainly no way you could get through. No me. The only one who could fit through was a child. A child? Remember, access to those rooms is limited. Only those involved with the concert were allowed. And of all the people involved with the concert, only one is small enough to be considered a child.
The defendant.
The pixie, the arpeggio, flitted up toward the sky and disappeared from the scene of the crime. But that's just conjecture. Oh, there was no other way out of that room. You were there, you should know, Air Forehead. Huh? And there is another vital piece of evidence. Evidence? What? Marks were found on the air vent grill. Oh, that's not good. Traces that had recently been unopened. Wait, what? And something else was found, quite clearly. The defendant Maki Tobi's fingerprints. What? Okay, this may be the fastest trial in history, and it doesn't look like it's going our way. Especially when I'm on the side of the prosecution here. I fully understand how this could have worked.
Order, order, order!
That air vent was the only way out of the room. The defendant's fingerprints were found on the grill. Well, air forehead. Well, what about the fingerprints on the weapon? What fairy tale does this suggest to you? Only one can pass through that vent, that doorway to heaven. And that one is a pixie. Why are you looking at me, Apollo? Hey, I was out whooping it up in the audience. So this was his decisive evidence.
Quite decisive indeed. Well, I believe that's enough for that.
Huh?
Prosecution has a rather convincing case. The only way in and out of the courtroom crime scene was watched. Making the defendant the only one who could possibly leave the scene. Simple and decisive. Ugh. I believe we heard enough to determine a verdict. Even if I wasn't in a hurry to make a hospital visit.
I'm sure the Chief Justice will appreciate the gesture. Unfortunately, they have no direct witnesses. Fortunately, the criminal left decisive evidence for us. That will have to be enough. Keep you already.
Very well. I believe this trial is finished. The defense has no contradicting evidence.
The prosecution has presented our proof clear and plain. If you have contradicting evidence, it'd be better be clear and plain. Apollo, they got us on the ropes already. I know. We better come up with something quick. I know. Think, what can get us out of this? We need evidence or witness that can prove Maki is innocent beyond a doubt. Without that, go.
Well, Mr. Justice, you have contradicting proof that can overturn the prosecution's case. If you do, you better tell us about it now.
This is it, and so soon. If I mess this one up, it's all over. The court wants contradicting proof? Call a witness. Prosecutor Gavin, you claimed that there were no witness to crime, but there was. Are you absolutely sure? Absolutely, I'd swear on it as my career as a prosecutor. And on my million-seller hit song, Quinine, my love. Okay, so I really want to know who this Quinine is. There he goes again. That's too bad, because there was a witness.
Oh, really now? How did you come to process knowledge that the prosecution clearly does not?
Because I'm the only one in the world who knows this. By the way, sorry if I sound a little bit stuffy. I'm trying to do my best to not like come through the video, but I'm still recovering from an illness, so please bear with me. What's going on? I just talked to him, and now? Yeah, he's alive. This little dude, can you hear me? Okay, so he's going to say again that we have a, he's cold, he's dying, he has a witness, and help is on the way, but he's dying, and he's going to tell us the siren.
What? The victim said this before he died?
Perhaps he did, and perhaps he did not. What do you mean by that? All they know is what her forehead says he said. It's no testimony, especially since it comes from the defense attorney himself. But it's the truth. He said it. I even told you about it. But apparently you ignored me completely. It's my policy to fully investigate everything I deem relevant. Clearly, this fucking lawyer thinks he can tell me how to do my job.
Well, that's enough. Mr. Justice, we need clear, contradictory proof from you. This witness of yours is unknown to the prosecution. I hope you're right. Failure carries a stiff penalty.
Perhaps a stiffer penalty than usual is called for. There's no backing out now.
Let's hear the name of your witness, Miss Justice.
That would be Miss Lammermoor.
Lammermoor?
Recall Mr. Latus's last words. Yes, we know it's the siren. Got it. We literally just saw that.
The siren, haha, he meant the siren.
That's right, the siren of the ballad, Lammermoor. Lammermoor is only on stage for the second set, and she had access to the backstage area. She could have been a witness.
I see. Well, Prosecutor Gavin?
My claim still stands. There was no witness to this crime.
Well, very well. Let's hear from the horse's mouth then, shall we? We will now take a break from Detective Imaskai's cross-examination. Please show Lammermoor to the witness stand.
Lammermoor would say nothing the night of the murder. Not today, though. Today we'll drag that story out of her no matter what it is. It's my distinct honor to welcome the siren of the courtroom to our... I totally butchered that, didn't I? Let me try it again. It is my distinct honor to welcome the siren of the ballad to our courtroom. You are too kind.
You can speak English?
Yes, I can. Though I'm not very good, there's much I do not know.
You speak so well. Have you spent time here before?
Actually, I do not know how I came by my knowledge of your language, nor where I studied it.
Huh? What does she mean she doesn't know?
I too thought to call her as a witness, but I did not. I had a reason, of course. What's that? Lammermoor suffers from amnesia.
Amnesia?
Lammermoor is not my true name. Yet I remember nothing of the time before I was given it. Nothing of the time before I started singing on stage. Whoa, she's even more mysterious than I thought. As lauded singer Lammermoor, she lives a good life. There are little difficulties for her thanks to her success. Yet, I did not wish to subject her to unnecessary stress.
I see. Well, I care surprisingly little about people's past. You have nothing to fear in this court, Lammermoor.
Thank you. Yet there's something I do not understand. I am being called as a witness. What might I say? No one will tell me anything of what happened. Really? Lammermoor, let me be frank. I do not want to ask you up here to testify. Yet that young gentleman with the wide forehead over there was adamant that you're stunned. Oh my. Congratulations, Apollo. You're the bad guy. Ugh, well, maybe earlier I wasn't on the same page as the antagonist. Maybe I was on the same page as the protagonist. Maybe we're the antagonist.
Well, now that you're here, can you please give us your testimony? And nothing else, the sound of your voice is welcome.
Oh.
Tell us what you saw the night of the crime.
What I saw. As for what I saw nothing. That night, I was invited to sing on stage, and that I did. I did not return backstage after the second set. Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room and told to wait there. That was where I learned that something had happened, but I wasn't told the details.
I must say you sound wonderful just testifying.
I hope he was too distracted to hear what she actually was saying. Well, there you have it. She saw nothing that night. Now, they can only pray that the defense has to admit defeat and refrain from detaining her here longer than need be. Wow, you just got better, Apollo. Way to go. It's not my fault! Grr. Or as Adia would say, Margrr. I love that line.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Keep it short and sweet.
Lemore wanted to talk to me the night of the crime. She must know something, and I gotta find out what. So Adia is a character from Bravely Default, if you're wondering. Cross-examination, let's do it. What I saw. As for what I saw nothing. But you must have seen something. Mr. Latouche named you. Mr. Latouche? How can I tell you what I don't know? Lemore, he said you were a witness with his dying words. I do not know what he meant to say, but that night I was invited to sing on stage, and this I did. It was a great concert. You heard me sing, thank you. I was hoping to get an autograph later, actually. Of course.
Mr. Justice, it's cross-examination. You're out of line. If anyone deserves an autograph here, it's me. My gavel would be nice. So as some of those stacked coups.
Air Judge.
What's this?
It's my autograph. Now keep this tie. I'm moving. Did he just like flick that card to the judge? Because that sounds like that sounds awesome if he did. He just went whoosh, and the thing just appeared in his hand.
What? Oh, my grandchild would be so happy.
Apparently his grandson's a big fan. Let us continue, shall we? If you would, Lemavor. I really hope, I'm gonna say this now, because we're on the third case. But I really hope Clavier never has a vendetta against us and ends up being a murderer. Because I really like this guy. This guy is cool. Like he is, he's just so cool. Tell us what you did at your stellar performance. Like, I love Miles, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Miles fan, but Javier is he's just neat. I did not return backstage after the second set. You did not return backstage once? Where were you then? What were you doing? I was cleaning up on stage. There are many things I must do for a performance other than simply sing. And was Maki with you at the time? Unfortunately, I did not know where he was. So much for an alibi for Maki. Then I was led by the police to Mr. Gavin's dressing room and told to wait there. With Maki, correct? How was he then? He seemed as he always does. Though I believe he was shocked by the news of Mr. Latouche's death. Yet, he is not the type to show much emotion. Yes, he's given the police no end of headaches. He answers most questions with silence, and those glinting frames speak nothing. The questioning hasn't gone very far. We sat there waiting. That was where I learned that something had happened, but I wasn't told the details. How was the incident explained to you? I was told nothing in detail, only that Mr. Latouche died.
Of course, investigations require some security.
But Mr. Latouche was my manager. I wanted to know more. I should have been told. Both Maki and I were beside ourselves with concern. Allow me to apologize, but please understand. Keeping you in the dark was as painful for me as it was for you. Yes, I understand. Think, what doesn't ring true about her testimony? It's hard to imagine Lamar lying. Well, she might not be lying, but she's hiding something. What did she tell me the night of the murder? Oh, dear God. What do I choose? I think it's got to be this one. I did not return backstage at the second set. It's got to be this one. It's the only one that sounds suspicious. While also saying she saw nothing sounds suspicious. How does that help me? Oh, because Guilty Love was playing at the time. He missed something. Like, he missed something, right? So maybe that's important with the case. What do I say? What do I say? I saw nothing. Can I can't use my thingamajig here. Your Honor, what do you... Guess not. I'm not sure I follow you either. Cause... You don't sound very sure, Mr. Justice. Yeah, I know, but... The thing is, I don't understand... how... Like, what evidence I'm supposed to show here. I saw nothing. I did not return backstage. Okay, so I saw nothing. And I did not return until after the second set. Those are the things that strike me as... I mean, those are the things that strike me as odd, right? Because something here is wrong, and I don't know what it is. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show the name and the picture to basically say, oh, well, this is a clue. But I guess it's not working. Sightseeing? I saw nothing. I have no idea what to say here. Like, I don't even know what the question is. I'm gonna get this wrong. And I'm gonna have no idea what to do. I mean, I felt like I was on fire in the last case, but just like immediately. Okay, not immediately in this case. I had a few things right, but in the first testimony, I am just absolutely stumped. I wasn't told the details, man. I wasn't told the details because I was ordered to speak to no one. Okay. Nope. Nope. That's not it either. Well, at least we get to see the game over screen, right?
Well, that's enough. See no need to further prolong this trial. Defense's case is insufficient to overturn the prosecution claim. This court finds the defendant, Maki Tobai, guilty. The defendant must surrender himself to the court's care. To undergo a regular trial at the High Court within a month's time. Court is adjourned.
All right, well, I'll say this. I've been feeling ill and I'm better, but why push it? This seems like a good place to stop because I'm gonna have to go back and redo everything all over again to like try to figure out what's being asked or what I need to say. But obviously, I need to say something that shows she's holding back, and I don't know what to say or how to say it. So I'll say this. If you have any clues, feel free to post clues. Don't post outright spoilers, though. I don't think I'm at spoiler level territory yet. Although, if you say spoiler and then press enter a bunch of times, you can do that. That's fine, because if I feel like completely giving up, at least then I'll have something to work with. But hey, I'm so glad to be back. I did an episode of Bravely Default earlier, and that went way longer than I thought it should because, oh my god, a lot happened in today's episode of Bravely Default. So in total, you know, I've done about 2 hours of recording today, and I'm still feeling good. Like I still have a cough, but I still feel good, and I feel relaxed, and I feel confident, and I'm just having a fun time playing games with you all. I hope you guys are having a fun time too. I will see you again very soon. Sorry, this case is a little bit shorter than other videos, but we'll be back. Don't worry. Until next time, my friends, hope you have a wonderful, fantastic, amazing, awesome day. So long, and take care. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you'd like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. But before we go, please remember that you matter, and you are brilliant, and you are loved, and you should always be true to yourself. Never let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly, feathered, flightless bird.